Africa is officially taking the stage when it comes to the artificial intelligence conversation. The continent could also potentially benefit from the $500 billion AI infrastructure announcement from OpenAI and U.S. President Donald Trump. This is according to Kola Aina, who is founder and managing partner of venture platform, who spoke to Arise business correspondent Rotus Oddiri at the World Economic Forum in Davos. Let's have a look.
All right, we're here at the World Economic Forum, Davos 2025. We've been talking a lot about technology. The conversation continues here on Arise News. We are happy to have run into Kola Aina, founder, managing partner at Ventures Platform, a big supporter of technology on the African continent. Kola, it is great to see you. I wanted to find out, and Happy New Year, by the way, what kind of conversations you are having here about tech funding in Davos.
Fantastic. Thanks, Rotus. It's good to be here. Yeah, look, it's been fascinating. It's great to have Africa be on the stage in terms of AI. I think folks are really fascinated about how innovators in Africa are leveraging AI to really meet the unmet needs on the continent. And so the conversations have ranged from sort of what the role AI can play in Africa's development, but also incredible interest from capital allocators around the world to invest more in some of the hotbeds like Nigeria, Egypt, and some of the markets that we invest in.
Fantastic. You mentioned the capital allocators around the world. There's been a lot of conversation around Nigeria being able to fund its own tech ambitions. Basically, the quote-unquote is there are enough billionaires and wealthy people in Nigeria that we don't need foreign funding. What's your take on that?
Well, look, it's an interesting take. I definitely think there's role for local capital because, like I often say, you need capital with context because a lot of the innovations that we're building require regulatory sort of support, require market access, and very often without that local capital, it's difficult to access that. But I think, look, we can use all the capital we need. Africa receives less than 1% of global venture. So look, I want all the capital. I want capital from the US, I want it from China, and this is what makes the current dynamics in the world really fascinating and potentially beneficial for Africa because look, I think we can come to the table and we can transact with partners from across the world.
All right, so speaking of capital allocators, right, there's been a lot of news around President Trump of the US, his embrace of technology, AI. There were a lot of tech entrepreneurs at his inauguration. I think 500 billion or so announced. Does that filter through to players like yourself as far as funding for tech? Is this a good thing?
Look, I think, as they say, a rising boat sometimes can lift all a rising tide can lift all boats. I think it'll be interesting to watch what happens in the US because what we've seen in the past is as sort of IPO activity and as M&A activity sort of increases, you have capital unlocked, and some of that definitely would flow to funds that are focused on the region, but also companies that are focused on the region as well. But I also think beyond capital, I think there's an incredible opportunity for the talents, the youthful population that we have to really help to sort of power a lot of what's required for AI. And so look, I think it's an incredible time to be alive. I think this really puts AI on the top of the agenda. I will be watching very closely the influence of the Elon Musks and the Peter Thiels of this world in the White House.
All right, finally, Kola, I mean, what's your outlook? You talked about, good time to be alive. It's January, beginning of the year. How are you seeing things 2025 for Nigeria, Africa, as far as technology is concerned? What's your outlook?
Look, we are very positive about 2025. We think that the worst is starting to sort of be behind us. When you think about things like currency instability in our main markets like Nigeria and Egypt, we're seeing lots of acceleration in the reforms in Nigeria, for instance. And so we think that these things are going to bode well for the ecosystem. We expect to see a moderate increase in funding flows. We also think that the winter, as it's called, has birthed a new cadre of companies that are more sustainable, that are built on more solid fundamentals. And I think this really would speak well for the ecosystem. So I'm very bullish. We're actively investing. We're looking now very closely at Francophone West Africa. We're going to be doing more investments there. We will continue to invest in Nigeria and also looking at how we can get more of our companies to expand beyond Nigeria Nigeria into other markets like North Africa, riding on the AFCTA and platforms like PAPS. Look, like I said, it's an interesting time to be alive, and it's great to be here in Davos.
Kola Aina, founder, managing partner at Ventures Platform. Thank you so much for talking to Arise News.
Thank you. Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here, Rotus. Thank you.